But yeah, no, today, this morning, we're just feeling hyped. Like, I think it's just, we're kind of coming with this thing, like we're coming from like a different city and we're coming here into like another sort of space, another environment. And we're just bringing what we got. Like, yeah, that's pretty much all we can bring. The first sort of half of the performance is kind of like a little bit like intensity, like kind of going with our big bodies, like, and then the second half is more us kind of straying away from that and just being real fly, just trying to be like real cool with it and just like actually like being a bit more graceful and relaxed. I'd say that the through line is still there, like us trying to break down stigmas and stereotypes of big bodies, but it's more like just us appreciating our bodies now, rather than going like what is wrong with it, like we want to prove that there's nothing wrong with it. Actually, nah, like we're the ones that are going to do it. So you will see three large-statured Polynesian men, real light on our feet, maybe quick feet, sort of soft sort of movements from these big men. And it's just the contrast, like what you see physically and the visceral feeling that you're getting from our movement. I've given my little test like a working title, and I've called it Big Brothers. And it's about just like breaking down stigmas, stereotypes of just like how we move and how we are on stage. I think it's important. I think it kind of starts a conversation about like what a dancer kind of looks like, has to physically look like. That's what I'm trying to spark up here with this piece, and that's why I find it's important. And yeah, it's also just to rid any of judgment for any other big men that kind of want to get into it. I think even though I'm trying to break down stereotypes of big men being able to dance, there's also a stereotype that us big men put on this word dance or like movement, and we kind of get scared to be like, oh, like we kind of like, we feel confronted when we hear like, oh, you're gonna learn this choreo set, you're gonna learn this dance piece, and we kind of go, oh, I can't do it. And just because we've limited it already because of our bodies. I remember being in high school, I think I was like year 12, so like 16 years old. And in my head, I was like, oh, I want to do something different, which was the arts. And coming from like a Polynesian family, there's the classic story of like the arts will get you a job. But I'm not doing this to prove my parents wrong. Like, I'm doing this because I do have a love for performance. There's just something about being live in front of an audience. I enjoy the challenge of, I enjoy that awkwardness of kind of starting, like, I enjoy the awkwardness of like starting a performance and the audience is there, like, what do you do? I do kind of enjoy that sort of space between the performer and the audience.
I was a dancer in 2011 for a piece called Spiritus. So yes, I have done the Choreographic Lab, but as a dancer. That was like 9 years ago, exactly 9 years ago. I choreographed my own piece and do it my own way, do it the Lomina way. It's what I've always wanted to do. I'm nervous, but excited at the same time. I'm just hoping to just be in the moment, to be really present. There's nothing to tweak, I've done the work, so yeah, it's just being present. I see dance theatre as there are no limitations. Yes, there are stories to be told, but in dance theatre, that is when the stories are created. There's already stories there, but you're pulling ideas from the stories to create something new but old. I've always been interested in the creation story because I've heard lots of creation stories from different islands of the Pacific, and I've been like, what's the Cook Island creation story? From my years of dancing with my mum and dad, I've never heard a creation story. So then I went through my grandfather's journal. It's old. He has stuff about the full moon, stuff about winter fish, stuff about winter plants. I saw this drawing that my papa had done, a tree, and then underneath it, it has Ko Te Ora Ia o Tumu Te Varuvaru. It means the life of Tumu Te Varuvaru, of Rarotonga. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. It was gold to me. I'm like, this is it. This is my point of departure. This is my idea. It didn't occur to me then. In the moments when I got asked, do you want to apply? Look, this is a choreographic lab coming up. I think you should apply. In that moment, I was like, ooh. I realized that because I've been wanting a way to show me, and I didn't know how to do it on my own. I realized then I needed some support. And this choreographic lab was that chance. It was my opportunity to showcase me. Just a little bit of me before I can actually show you my full me.
I've been quite interested in Christianity and how it's shaped, with religion being intertwined with traditions. It's quite a touchy subject. And being able to, I guess, use Pacific dance as a platform, Choreo Lab especially, just believe in the piece and just run with the concept. Like, it's only authentic to me, and I guess it's up to whoever's watching it, how they interpret it. Music definitely was the vessel that sort of opened up this new world of being able to just move freely, dance to the music, illustrate the music visually. I didn't start as a hip-hop dancer. I actually started as a ballroom dancer. It wasn't until I came to New Zealand. With Southside, there's like a huge hip-hop scene. I guess I was quite inspired with like competitions like Bring It On and like Full Stomp. My piece is a little insight into Christianity first coming into the shores of the Pacific Islands and how quick it spread through each of the islands. Through my research, I found that it took around 30 years to, I guess, cover the whole Pacific Islands, which is quite interesting. It's almost as if they're putting on a new hat for themselves, and that hat sort of triggers another character. With my creative process, I like to come into the space, explaining the concept to the dancers, giving them tasks that'll generate those ideas. We've had like heaps of conversations just based on the topic. I guess it was cool to start those conversations and I guess talk about the pros and cons of religion and how it's affected us. Which is pretty cool. I guess it sort of helps us to navigate those new conversations about religion and culture and how they sort of intertwine and make who we are and what we value today. Yeah.